Good. Okay. It is Thursday, November 20th, and I'm going to call the Design Review Committee meeting, special meeting to order. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Let the record show that we're missing one committee member. Sandy Baracco is not here. Public forum. Is there any matter that's not on this agenda that they would like to discuss? Seeing none, we're going to move to the consent agenda, which we have the minutes from the October 14th meeting on there. Do I have any questions or comments or a motion?
I move to pass approve the minutes of, I'm sorry, the minutes of the, what was it?
The 14th, October
The
14th.
14th, October 14th.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carries 4-0. And that gets us to our designs clearance application. Erin, you want to take over on this?
Yes, thank you. So in front of you this afternoon is an design clearance application for 110 through 165 Bryson Court. It's for 12 single-family residential units. I brought it as a package instead of individually because the applicant is proposing it will end up being a total of 6 designs over the 12 units. And I thought it's easier to review them this way. So the applicant is here. They are proposing to build 12 homes on existing lots. There is a history on this. It appears development started maybe in early 2000s with this layout finally approved in 2009 is when the final map was approved and these improvements were put in. Since that time, though, the parcels have been rezoned, have been upzoned to multifamily housing, but it's very difficult to build multifamily housing based on the shape of the lot and also the existing infrastructure that is there. So the big constraint is actually water. So they have their 12 water services there. And with AWA's capacity issues and the cost, it really is prohibitive to build anything more than 12 single family units. And that's just a little bit of the history. This is kind of outside of the design review, what you are looking at. So there is 3 plans. There is the first one is Plan 1625, which is 1600 or I put 25 and 27, 2700 or 1600, 1,627 square feet. All the plans are 2 stories, and they have what appears to be a single car garage. This one is a single car garage. The other 2 are tandem 2-car garages there. So, but they have the appearance of single car garage. Actually, this project technically could be approved at the staff level, but I wanted to bring it to the design review because it is a larger project. It's an area that is next to a city park, things like that. There'll be a lot of visibility with this project. So I thought it was important for the DRC to review it. With that said, I do believe that they are meeting the design standards. They have and I've listed some of them in the staff report to kind of keep it consistent with size and scale, which they have. The majority of the development around there is single family. There are 2-story homes, and the majority of them are duplexes. So it's already a higher density feel up there than other portions of the city. The setbacks do vary for these units depending on the lot configuration. I don't know, Tom, can you scroll to the site plan? You can kind of see how there is some variation there, and they have incorporated elements of our design standards, including the materials they've used for siding and also the covered porches and things like that. So I do think the applicant has done a pretty good job incorporating our design standards into a product that they hope to be a market rate product. with the constraints that they have existing on the lots. So I can answer any other questions about this. The applicants are here, can answer questions and are open to any feedback too. So, and part of the reason we wanted to get this done now is if there are any major comments that require them to do any redesign, because this will be going to the planning commission for a site plan permit. And so we wanted to get your feedback now so they had time to make any changes that might be required before going to site plan permits.
I do have a question.
Go for it.
To you guys. Go ahead. So you guys recently bought this property, correct?
No. So right now we're under contract with the Rancheria. So they've been trying to sell it off and on for a while now. And they've been struggling to find somebody willing to do it, but also somebody that can come up with a design that makes sense for the lots. It's a pretty I'm trying to think of the best word to say. It's a pretty unique configuration, right, for the
Very
12 lots. And so because of there's two things going on. One is talking with Aaron. This project's going to need a site plan and you think maybe a use permit. Is that right, Aaron? And so basically the practical thought is the city council or somebody in 2009 approved these for 12 single family homes on 12 single family lots. That's how it was designed and built. AWA has also taken the very strict position that that's exactly how it was done. There are 12 water services and you can't do anything different as opposed to ripping everything out. And so what we said with the Rancheria is, okay, look, let's put our heads together. And we've done some other stuff in Amador County and they approached us and we said, through a broker, and we said, well, let us think about what we can do that does two or three things. So one is our vision for this is market rate workforce housing. So I don't want to use the word affordable because sometimes that has different kind of specific connotations. But no, the goal is for this to be, workforce housing. So we need to achieve some level of production housing. Somebody's not going to go build a custom lot or custom house on each lot. But we also need to have kind of a footprint that makes sense on these lots for the end user, right? So we need a little bit of a yard. It was really important for us to get full-size driveways. So even though we have the one car configuration, even though it's tandem, these all have 20-foot driveways. You got to have some parking and some functionality like that. And, by the time the other thing to pay attention on this site, I don't know if you could zoom in for me on this lot, but in addition to the lot sizes, there's a lot of other factors, and you can kind of see that on the back sides of the lots. It was designed with drainage ditches on the back. So there's 10-foot easements on the backs of all the lots that drain to the corner. The two lots on the west have a huge drainage easement. There's a private sewer line that runs between them. It's complicated. It's very tight. And so we've actually built more of this, I would call it more of a townhome style product in other places. It kind of works. It's a little tight in some senses. You get some driveway configurations that are a little odd, but we still get to the 20, and I think it works. And so that's the intent. And so the deal that we have with the Rancheria is we would close subject to approval of approval Sutter Creek giving us the go ahead on being able to build this.
And is this the original idea, the original plans, the actual houses, or have you changed this up?
We don't know. So we asked Aaron this question, and we don't know what was originally approved back then. So this was our idea.
But no, the
So
concept. Is this concept the same?
Based on the approvals I've seen, and I've only seen the resolutions, I have not been able to find any of the site plans or anything like that. There was, I think, an approval for 22 units on this. And then also, but the more recent one was the 12 cottages.
Yeah. So what Aaron sent us is 12 detached single family cottages that were approved with this map in 2009. Does that sound right, Aaron? But we have no idea what they look like.
Okay, so this is a newer concept
Yes,
then.
exactly.
That's
Can
what,
we just do a little housekeeping? So, and Susan, maybe you can clarify. So this is your layout, right?
Yep.
But it was stamped by Robin Peters in 1210.
I think they just put the layout over the final subdivision map. So that final subdivision map was recorded in 2009.
He's not currently working
Okay.
for them.
That's
I
the question
I
is,
just saw that stamp. and
No,
thought
that's, no, sorry, that's a fair thing. This is actually a copy of the public recorded final map.
Okay.
Yes.
Not part of the
we
improvement
just
plan.
want to make sure there wasn't a conflict of interest.
No,
Yep.
there is none. And I will add that, but, so the original design was kind of similar to what was done on the Sutter Creek Cutoff Road. There's like, 4 houses that are kind of tucked back in that Stan and Jeff Kelly had done. And so when this came about, that was kind of the same philosophy of having some houses that were more affordable, smaller, entry-level type houses. So that was the original concept on the map.
And that is exactly the intent for
Mhm.
what we're trying to do with these. So, but yeah, we would love to hear your guys' feedback. Because again, and to Aaron's point, the challenge with this is when we go in with a more detailed site plan, they're just so heavily constrained that we just don't have a lot of flexibility in the footprints. And so we want to hear you guys' feedback. If you like it, you don't like it, we're open to making changes that we can. But yeah.
Sure. Well, I would say from a planning standpoint, on some of those lots, because of their interesting configuration, if you were having a problem, I would think, and Aaron can confirm, that you would meet the state mandated findings on a variance because of the configuration. So if you did need to bump a little closer in some areas, that, especially with the park, backing up to a park, you might be able to do that. That's something that the planning commission may want to take into consideration, especially with, when I'm looking at the curved driveway, curved driveway makes it hard to park, and I can't remember how long that one was, but that one is one that you may want to consider shifting a little bit so you could.
Yep. And I think
Yeah.
on that one too, we have space to turn it, so we
Yeah.
can get that a little more straight on. But yes, point
Yeah.
taken. Yep.
So,
But those are planning commission issues, and Susan's a planner, but we
Yeah.
should focus on the design.
right.
Well, actually,
Well, I mean, the site design, it does play a part into the, the overall layout and design of each building. So, Sharon, questions?
My question was, under roof, you have a question mark.
Can you show me that question mark, or can you?
It's in their plans. Yeah, and I only brought page 2 and 3, so I didn't,
Say.
Number 78 on the chart you submitted, which I appreciate you really taking time and filling this out. Roof material should be selected. Roof material should be selected to be, and then you put a question mark. on-
So they would be a design to be comp, again, inconsistent with being a more, affordable, but that would be the intent.
is comp.
Composition shingle.
Why would you put a question mark?
I'm trying to see maybe we didn't understand what it said.
It's on page.
you probably didn't have a
10.
specific brand
10?
or profile
Right.
or color even.
Yep.
No. 10,
To
To be determined.
yeah, number
Maybe-
79
Okay.
On the
on
chart?
page 10 has a question mark.
Okay. And it says just roofing type, or what is the category?
Yeah,
Proposed.
Materials.
Yeah, we can revise that, but we would put composition shingles.
Comp is fine. What I'm trying to find out is if, because we have a lot of people that want to go to metal.
Oh,
So I'm just the one that hates that, and I always ask.
hey, there you go. Composition shingle deal.
Okay. The only other question, or the only other thing that I always bring up is night lighting.
Okay.
And I would prefer downlit lighting outside so that the lighting doesn't overwhelm your neighbors and anyone else, actually.
Yeah, we would absolutely be.
Dark sky,
Yep,
all
yep.
that.
We can do down exterior lights.
so Sharon, did you see that they're proposed that one?
As long as you don't see the light bulb.
Yeah, so we do typically more coach light style lights, so I know what she's referring to. And we're fine to accept that.
It's the same in, where we came from.
Yeah.
You can't do that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Yep.
you. That's it.
Yes.
John, any questions?
Yeah, I got a few. Number one, so Are you representing the applicant?
Yeah, so I'm with Riverland Homes. I'm actually one of the owners.
Okay, so you
Yep.
are with the one who prepared all the
And
plans.
yep, and we would be the builder as well.
Okay, and I didn't catch your name.
Tanner
Tanner?
Jenkins. Mhm.
Thank you. Item 2, back to the site, to meet some of the encouraged standards. First of all, I think it's a great project.
Okay.
Long overdue. Thank you for taking it on. Okay, I hope it does go smoothly for you. I hope our having a special session is helpful.
Very
Okay,
appreciative,
okay.
yes.
So moving forward with that. So one of the things we do have in terms of parking and in site is the variation. You address that sort of in here, that you've tried to stagger them around. And you're right, the one curved driveway is always problematic, and that's on a lot that is big enough. Maybe you can straighten it out a little bit, but even if it didn't, it's only one of the 12, and make do. I do like the idea you went to tandem parking so that you do have less of a off-site and or out of sight parking issue, or in-site parking issue.
Yep.
I think that's a great feature. In general, I don't have any objections at all to the materials or slopes, the patterns. They all fit into the kind of a mix of our standards when we're within the historical district, as well as in the rest of the city's overall view. And if it's a great infill project that is a long time coming. The next item I did have, I thought was, do you have are you going to have all of the downspout collection systems contained, or are they just going to become surface runoff to the street? And then the street, of course, you're right, has all these easements for drainage.
Yeah, and I think that so we've walked it. I think that actually the way this site is designed is 90% of the drainage goes to the rear of the lot.
Right, that's what it did.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, so I think that those downspouts would go on lot and run backwards, where, typically on more modern subdivision designs, we drain forward to the street, collect it, that kind of stuff. Does that answer your question?
Yes, you're going to consider that.
Yes.
So that like the front driveway ones may actually end up running from slope grade back to the back lot where the drainage ditches are at.
Exactly.
Westview Estates was sort of problematic. It was a larger project, but it had a lot of collector drainage that went between parcels.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, but here we actually have the layout such that the space behind the units should get to those easements.
Exactly. Yep.
So you did consider it, and that's appreciated.
Great.
Other than that, there is a couple of most of the designs are typical, where they show the characteristic elements to the front, your entry approach. There's a couple lots, you get the site plan again, that actually are more, come on, where'd my page go? Here it is. That page right there. So there's a couple lots that are actually visible more from Bryson than they are from the cul-de-sac.
Yep.
I don't know the exact lots, but upper right blue, okay? And then the one that the backyard is, you have 6-foot fences proposed, wood fences proposed, which is not a problem. But they are 2-story units.
Yep.
So my question are on those essentially 3 or 4 that actually are visible from Bryson Drive at their backyards. Is there any thought to maybe providing some of the front architectural siding approaches, materials on those visible from Bryson?
I think that so we haven't thought that through as much. I think that it's going to be more important. So the good news is, I don't know if you can go back to those elevations. The nice thing about the orientation with the tandem garages is with this product is only 28. I think the smallest product is 26 feet wide, and I think the larger unit is 28 feet wide. So the massing straight on from the back will be relatively narrow and low impact. But I do agree with you that the unit that's broad-sided, so it's the one that was in orange, and it's the one that is. Can you go to? Is that the 1808 plan? I think that was the one there, and I think that's lots big enough where we could put a. We could probably switch the floor plan.
Something 2025, 1625?
So John, is your concern the appearance of that broadside, or is your concern the height of the fence?
No, the fence is not, the fence is.
Okay.
not corrected.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the standard 6-foot fence seems like.
Yeah.
If you try to make it taller, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not reasonable.
Yeah, and
I'm
I
just saying, you have more front elevations on that orange one there on the side.
no, you're exactly right. And I think
16.
if you go to we have to go see if it fits. Let's see if they can pull up the one that we have proposed there. So to answer your question, I don't think it's going to be a big issue with the lots where you see the rear. I think it's going to be relatively low massing. I think you're exactly right, though, that you're going to feel that side on unit on Bryson a lot, and that's a pretty boring side. So dressing up that side to provide some variation and some extra detail, we can
Yeah.
absolutely do that.
Yeah, so that pink pattern is which floor, which elevation of the A, B, 1625 is the very first one, and it looks like it's 1625 on the site plan. So the first one is, if you go to the sheet, page 1.
It's 18.
Yeah, he's got it.
She's got it right there. And that's what.
Oh, that's the sides, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
What sheet is that? Thank you, just give me a second then, please. And anyway.
Yeah.
And the side will be, again, the side will be much more impactful because you'll see the
18.
broad side of it.
Yeah.
The rear ones will be relatively skinny, and it kind of really helps with that massing. But if you guys want, adding some side detail on that elevation to just break up the massing is,
Okay.
we can do that.
Yeah, I don't know what it looks like, and just a good faith effort to.
Yes.
Try and wrap those elevations with a little more character.
Yes. On the street facing. I think we covered up the lot numbers on you. Sorry. Okay. So lot 1, we got to make a good effort on that broad side. Okay.
And similarly, the
Can't-
broadside on the
It's in
one,
the way, we can't see.
again, 1806, is that a number?
So none of the other ones, so 1808.
1808, okay.
It's lot 1.
Lot 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is the only one that has the full side elevation that's along the street. The other, when you come into the subdivision, the one on the right, which is 1625, is just the corner, is facing Bryson.
But that one is, I could see that one a little bit be facing Bryson, the other one on the right.
is that on 4.1? Is that by, no? What sheet would that unit be on then? The one you got the cursor on right now? No, that's 4.1? Okay, so I'm looking at, oh, so wait a minute. Okay, yeah, okay, that actually does have interest. You have a cantilever slightly, popular bedroom or something up there.
Yep. On the
Okay.
side. Yep.
Okay, yeah, and then 6-foot fence, shields the stuff below that.
Mhm.
That has interest and from your standpoint, the marketing sales appeal. Okay. Those were really the only things that jumped out. I'm really pleased to see this, and if I could be so bold, if things were to go well, do we have kind of a 18 months, 24-month timeframe?
Well, no, I mean, well, it's probably a better question for Aaron
Okay.
than me, but I mean, what we were hoping to do is go straight to building permits after design review. It sounds like we need some type of a use permit and a site plan because of the multifamily zoning. So it'll be up to planning commission, but I mean, the nice thing about this is, I mean, they're done. So we have a due diligence item that we have to work out with PG&E. So the transformer's there, everything's been wired, everything's out there. Sometimes PG&E can get to be pretty sticklers once infrastructure has been in but not connected, and then they go through code changes. They're not bashful about saying, hey, you got to update the you got to build, you got to change to match whatever our specs are. Typically we can work that kind of stuff out with them, and typically it's not too big of an impact. But no, the goal would be that you'd go straight to building the homes, and for 12 lots for us, we would try and build them all out at the same time and knock them out.
So Riverland essentially has not only in addition to the design proposal, the construction plans are CAD ready and just,
Yeah, we need to do a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think another, one of, somebody else in the committee made this point. The unique thing about this site is the design review, you know, because of the lack of flexibility on these lots, Aaron made a good recommendation. We want to make sure you guys are comfortable with the design because there's not a lot of flexibility, right? And so once we go in with the site plan, then it'll be immediately going to build it.
It's a good thing for the community.
And, you know, if we move pretty quickly, my guess is this could go on the January Planning Commission meeting. I mean, holidays get a
Yeah,
little squirrely, but yeah.
yeah.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I would move to approve moving this project forward as clearing and meeting the design standards.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thanks for all the work you guys put into this. It looks nice.
Thank you guys so much for your feedback. We really appreciate it.
Nice to get some market rate housing in Cedar Creek.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with that, it is 1:02 and I will adjourn the meeting. Will you guys be selling them before you build or after?